What's happening?
All right, now everybody listen up.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
So back in the 80s, somebody wrote a story that was just so far-fetched you would never believe any of it could happen. But almost 40 years later, I'm starting to think maybe they were onto something. Here's They Live.
Can somebody please explain to me what the hell that's all about?
So we meet some dude. But since the story doesn't give him a name, I'm just gonna call him Piper.
Rowdy Piper!
He's sleeping on the streets because he can't find a job. He goes to a construction site to apply in person, and the foreman tells him it's a union job. But Piper sees that that's a bunch of crap and calls him out.
Then may I please speak with the shop steward?
Oh man, that was good, you got me.
So now he has a job, but the foreman tells him that his smelly ass can't sleep on site. So this guy Frank tells him where there's a place where he can get food and a shower. So Piper follows him there, but at a distance.
Why doesn't he just walk with him?
Well, part of him hopes that Frank's just doing something nice for him. But after this dude in a purple wife beater who's been checking him out all day offers him a place to shower, he's thinking he might be a...
I got a wife and kids.
Over dinner, Piper tells Frank that he believes things will work out for people who put in a hard day's work. But Frank believes that most people would fuck over their friends at the drop of a hat if it meant they could do better.
Most of us just sell out right away.
He even uses the factory he worked at as an example, since they were bailed out by the government, but the execs just gave themselves bonuses instead of creating more jobs.
It's business. That's all it is.
Jerks? Who would do that?
Certainly not the banks in 2008.
We'll do anything to be rich.
Anyway, that night, Piper sees that a television in the homeless camp gets hacked, and a hobo is more upset that his commercial got interrupted than the message explaining that society's being manipulated by signals being broadcasted.
Fortify your mind!
And you'd think they'd listen since the signal interruption is giving them all headaches.
What have you done to me?
It's like a drug.
Piper then sees that this blind street preacher is reciting the exact words coming out of the television. And since he's up by the road, there's no way he could hear the TV.
I have the ear of a snake.
Now, a few days ago, he thought this guy was a kook because he was about to be arrested while talking about people being controlled by the rich corporate overlords. Now, he's witnessing him rattle off some conspiracy theory bullshit while the television dude says the exact same thing.
Oh, well, great minds think alike.
But when the hobo changes the channel, the preacher loses his connection too.
It stopped.
Then the guy who runs the camp, Gilbert, comes over to the blind guy, and Piper watches him lead him to the church across the street. The next morning, Piper confronts Gilbert, implying that it was awfully weird that he took a preacher into a church last night.
Just that idiot licking his nuts again.
But Gilbert says something about using the kitchen or some shit, and then the TV gets hacked again. This time, the hacker says that the signal that's manipulating their brains needs to be shut down so he can spread the truth to people.
And they have blinded us to the truth!
But despite the headaches they get when he interrupts the television signal, the hobo and everyone else are just annoyed that they can't watch commercials again.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday.
No, you ain't showing me nothing!
But after it cuts out, Gilbert runs back over to the church. Piper goes to see what's up and hears a choir practice going on in the next room. But after he sees evidence of a possible meth lab, he sees that it's a stereo playing the music. Which is good for him because he falls over and no one hears it because they're standing right next to the speakers.
Loud noises!
But when he fell, Piper discovered a fake wall with a bunch of boxes inside.
Oh, what's gonna be inside him?
No clue. He just puts the wall back together and tries to fuck off, but the blind guy finds him.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Now Gilbert and the hacker are looking to spread their message, so they want to recruit, and that's why the preacher offers to tell Piper what they're doing. So like most people do when someone offers to answer all the questions they might have about a secret base they just discovered, naturally, he leaves.
I don't even want to know!
Frank's over talking to the hobo, who's saying that in this other town, people just all of a sudden started killing people after saying they felt like they just woke up from a dream. But Frank doesn't give a shit because Piper's asking some dude if he can borrow his binoculars. He finds Piper not looking at the loud-ass ghetto bird hovering above the camp, but Gilbert loading boxes in a car.
You're focusing on the wrong things.
But Frank tells him to keep his head down, because now he has a job and a place to eat and sleep. But Piper's like, dude, they are up to some shady shit. I just know it.
So, Mr. Everyone is out to fuck everyone over wants to ignore something weird. And Mr. Everything's gonna be alright wants to find out what's wrong?
Kinda weird, right?
Look, man, I don't need that kind of shit!
But not as weird as Piper sitting across the street watching a building all day when someone offered to just tell him what they're doing in there.
I guess we'll never know.
But his suspicions were right, and somehow the loud-ass helicopter sneaks up on him.
Surprise, motherfucker.
This time, everyone inside the church scatters like cockroaches, and the cops roll in. As they raid the church, more cops in riot gear enter the camp while a bulldozer rolls over everybody's shit.
You park your ass someplace else tonight.
Piper gets out of there, but comes across the hacker and the preacher getting the shit kicked out of him.
They've been told that we're commies trying to bring down the government.
I guess Gilbert just left their asses because he was with them when the chopper showed up.
Everyone's out for themselves and looking to do you in at the same time.
The next morning, people sort through the rubble to find their shit, and oddly enough, the TV's fine and still plugged into something.
There is a signal broadcast every second of every day through our television sets.
But Piper goes to check out the church to see what the raid was all about. The cops took all the boxes, the meth lab table, and even painted over some graffiti. But they didn't find the fake wall, so knowing how easy it is to open, he kicks it in and grabs one of the boxes.
So what's in it?
No clue. His curiosity is so great that he takes the box on a walk before finally opening it in an alley, and he finds sunglasses.
Sunglasses? Why would you hide a bunch of sunglasses in a wall?
Well, that's what he thinks too, which is why he throws them away. But he keeps a pair for himself, because, free sunglasses.
It's too great an opportunity to pass.
As he goes for a walk, since it's LA during the day, he puts them on and sees that they're special sunglasses that allow you to see what the signal's blocking. And it seems like the hacker was right about a bunch of things.
They have created a repressive society, and we are their unwitting accomplices. They are dismantling the sleeping middle class. We are being bred for slavery.
But what he didn't tell people was that there's more than just humans running around. It seems that some people look like the top layer of their skin was ripped off, but they live among us because the signal blocks it from our vision.
Wake up! They're all about you, all around you.
I picked a hell of a day to quit drinking.
He also notices that all the aliens seem to be doing just a little bit better financially than the rest of the humans.
What does he have that I don't have?
In a convenience store, not only does he let everybody know that he can see them, but stupidly even explains how the glasses work like reverse beer goggles.
You see, I take these glasses off. She looks like a regular person, doesn't she, huh? Put them back on, formaldehyde face.
So all of the zombies start talking into their Apple Watches to report that he caught on to him. And since calling one lady ugly did wonders for him, he calls out the next woman he sees and gets pushed by a cop.
Randy Key! Randy Key!
When his partner shows up, they want to make him an offer. So he beats him up, takes a gun, shoots them both, and they die.
That's gotta violate an ordinance.
Now let me ask you this. If you discovered an alien race was living among us, mentally controlling your life so you would conform, and you just killed 2 cops in broad daylight, would you A, go hide, B, try to find Gilbert to get more information, or C, take all the guns and wander out on a busy street?
Well, since they know what he looks like, he should definitely go hide first, but then he should go look for Gilbert to get more answers. So I guess A and B?
Well, he chooses C.
What were you thinking at this point?
But when another cop car comes, he does hide in a building, but it turns out to be a bank. And a security guard shoots at him.
McClunky.
So he's like, might as well kill a few more too. So he just starts shooting aliens all willy-nilly, not even caring that there's people mixed in the crowd too, and he's got a shotgun.
You're gonna need a really good lawyer.
But why would he go after them? They're just working regular jobs like everybody else.
Yeah, but remember, he and a bunch of other people haven't been able to find jobs.
There's nothing available for you right now.
And then he finds out that this place is hiring aliens instead of people. You know, the ones keeping jobs from real Americans.
They took our job!
He then sees one in the corner reporting him, and just as he goes to shoot him, he turns his watch and fucks off.
Disappearing act.
More cops show up, but Piper goes out the back and into a parking garage. He grabs a woman and makes her drive him to her place.
Dirty motherfucker!
She's scared, but all he wants her to do is listen to him. So of course, he yells that he can see aliens with his cheap gas station sunglasses like a completely rational adult. So she's like, I'm sure you can, buddy.
You don't believe me?
I'd sooner believe the single bullet theory.
But when he tells her to put him on, she's like, I'm just gonna tell you what you want to hear. So let's cut the shit. And she gets up to grab a glass of wine, but comes back with the whole bottle.
I'm thirsty.
And when she says she works for a TV station, he gets up to turn on the TV, and she hits him with the bottle and pushes him out a window.
Ain't love grand?
She then calls the cops and is way too calm for somebody who was just kidnapped and probably killed somebody.
Did he die?
Well, he was hit in the head and then thrown out of a second-story window on a house on a hill. But no, he's fine. He's just got to sleep it off.
That's the last thing you should do.
The next day, he goes back to the construction site to find Frank. He tells him that he wants to show him something, which is really funny because he left the sunglasses at Holly's house.
Your evidence?
I just know.
And after he blows them off, he goes to the trash where he threw away the rest of them. But the trash was already taken. Luckily, the truck is like 16 feet away, so he catches up to it, jumps in the back, and finds him. Once he does, the truck dumps all of its trash and fucks off.
We're getting too sloppy. That's all there is to it.
I guess he forgot about the other boxes still on the wall 3 blocks away.
And you're telling me this now?
He looks up to see Frank, who after telling him he wanted nothing to do with him because he's a wanted murderer, he was nice to get his money from the foreman.
What you been doing out there?
Shooting aliens.
Oh, you shooting aliens, right? Oh, you think you tough, huh?
But when Piper asks him to put on the sunglasses, that's crossing a fucking line or something, and he refuses to do it to the point that he punches him in the face.
Not nice.
And then they get into an all-out brawl with biting, weapons, and repeated knees to the nuts.
We have a Piper down. I repeat, a Piper is down.
Wow. He really doesn't want to wear those glasses.
I'd rather not do that.
I'm afraid I must insist.
Yeah, if he would just stop acting crazy when asking people to wear them, they might be a little more willing. Like if he would have offered Frank a pair as a thank you for getting his money for him, he might have just taken them. But no, he's got to beat the shit out of him and force them on his head.
We're going to work on our communication.
So now that they both probably need a hospital, they draw attention to themselves by yelling how ugly these creatures are.
Tasteful discretion is the name of the game.
Now they're able to make it to a hotel before the cops find him, and that's where he tells Frank that if he wears the glasses too long, that he'll get a headache.
And it hurts, doesn't it?
Kind of like having withdrawals from the signal. And naturally, Frank wants to know more, so he suggests that they find Gilbert.
Oh, so now he cares what they were doing in the church.
Shut up. From Piper's description, they could have been cooking meth in there. And he didn't care what they were doing as long as he could eat and shower somewhere.
I don't bother nobody. Nobody bothers me.
But yeah, they could have known everything a few days ago if Piper would have just talked to the preacher.
So how are they going to find a guy who's wanted by the cops and is either hiding or dead?
Oh, he just happens to be at the hotel one day, and he invites them to go to a meeting of the resistance. And they're like, okay, we'll go there instead of just asking you stuff while you're here right in front of us.
I have so many questions.
Then when they get there, the security guard isn't wearing glasses and just lets him in. They find out that they now have contact lenses that'll cut back on the headaches.
It starts to feel like a knife turning in your skull.
Then Gilbert elaborates on the hacker's message that climate change is just the creatures terraforming the Earth into a place more habitable for them.
Like Zod?
Yeah, but slower, so us slaves can adapt.
You're a slave? I'm a person, and my name is Anakin.
But they're also going to deplete all of our resources and then fuck off to the next planet like the aliens in Independence Day.
After they've consumed every natural resource, they move on.
To the end of the world.
He gets them to join their militia, so they can do a quick offensive strike. Then rattles off about how they need to take their time, blend in, and find out where the signal's coming from before they do anything. Some dude says that he works for a TV station, and he's gonna snoop around. But Holly chimes in and says it's not coming from that studio. Apparently, after she escorted Piper out, she tried on the sunglasses and realized that he was telling the truth. Then right after she apologizes, the wall behind her blows up, and the cops raid the meeting.
Surprise, motherfucker.
They're killing everybody, but of course, Piper and Frank make it out. And the back alley they take is crazy covered, but apparently you can just walk out the front door.
It doesn't make sense, does it?
No.
The guys get cornered, but luckily, Frank has an alien watch with him that he somehow breaks and opens a temporary portal that leads into an underground tunnel system. A system that leads to a ballroom where they're holding a black tie event. It's a mix of the aliens in power and the humans that took bribes to look the other way.
Why do we worship greed?
They're collaborating to keep everybody poor by not raising the minimum wage and telling people that unions are bad, so they don't have the means to rebel.
The golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules.
That doesn't seem fair.
And to keep the people from attacking them, they're going to blame their inability to make ends meet on the poor, minority groups, and immigrants.
Racial justice and human rights are non-existent.
They'll also keep them down by making them have families, by ending gay marriage, abortions, and divorce.
She's just dying to quit her job so that she can take care of me and have babies.
Then to terraform the planet, they'll get rid of all environmental protections by making people think that climate change is a hoax.
How dare you?
And then by saying that they can fix everything, they'll get a society that has blind faith that their leaders have their best interests in mind.
So this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
And they plan on getting this project of theirs fully running by this year.
The year 2025.
Well, it's a good thing they're spreading all this horrible crap over 40 years. Because if they tried to do that all at once, people would go nuts.
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you?
They also don't think twice about the 2 homeless men in the back.
Hey, who the hell are these two?
Except the hobo from the camp, who's now bragging about selling everybody out.
You have abandoned the principles that bound us together.
He offers to show them around the facility, and first takes them to the space teleporter. He then takes them to the TV studio where they're sending out the signal. Piper recognizes it as the same station that Holly works at, and he thinks that if they can find her, she can take him to the roof where the signal's being broadcasted.
But she was at the meeting they just escaped from.
Yeah.
So they think, after almost being killed by alien cops at a secret underground meeting of the human resistance, she was like, maybe I should go to work.
Yeah, pretty much. But remember, at that meeting, she said that her TV station had nothing to do with the signal, and then the alien tunnel led directly to it. And no red flags are popping up.
Idiots.
So they shoot the guards, and the former hobo fucks off. Then they kill all the aliens in the newsroom, but find out that the offices are controlled completely by humans. You would think something as important as the signal that's hiding us from humanity would be guarded by all aliens.
It doesn't sound responsible.
Then when the elevators are blocked, they enter a stairwell, where Piper has to remind Frank that they can use stairs to get to the roof too, as they're in the stairwell, and he just looked up the stairs.
You're not supposed to go up there.
Yes, I am.
But they just go to the 19th floor, where they bump into Holly, who went home, changed, then thought, ooh, I should go to work. Probably didn't want to go with blood on her shirt.
Can I please take a shower?
So they go to yet another stairwell, where Piper runs up, but Holly shoots Frank in the head, and he dies.
That bitch.
So her being in on it explains how the cops found the meeting, but not how she found the meeting, or why she decided to stand in front of the wall they were going to blow up.
Why am I here?
But that is why, when Piper's about to shoot the satellite dish, she stops him.
With fantastic makeup.
It figures it would be something like this.
He drops his gun, but she didn't count on him having another gun up his sleeve. So he shoots her, and she dies.
I was so surprised. Were you surprised? I was surprised.
Then he turns his gun on the dish, and when he shoots it, some guy in a helicopter shoots Piper, and he dies.
A good death is its own reward.
But the signal gets destroyed, and everyone's able to see that their friends, coworkers, and fuck buddies are all really blue aliens that look like they're decomposing.
You look as shitty to us as we do to you.
And I really bet they're wishing right now that they hadn't started a race war to keep humans fighting each other, because all they did was give us practice to come together and whoop their asses.
It's gonna be hell to pay.
So what would you do if you found out that aliens were secretly controlling everybody? Would you take the money? Because I'd like to think that I would join the resistance, but if you were to ask me right after work on a Sunday when I had to deal with the after church crowd, I think my number would be pretty low.
$2. Cash.
Wait! Now, we're obviously not getting to enough people because look at our numbers tonight. There should be twice as many of us here, and the movement's suffering for it.
So what are we supposed to do?
Push a button, and all of a sudden, bang!
Well, if you can use them, we can use you. By all means, accept.
We all sell out every day. Might as well be on the winning team.
You'll be back. You'll be back.